Hello, welcome back. This is Miniature Mike. Today we're going to do a tier list video for the Sculpts in Knights of the Old Republic, otherwise known as KOTOR or KOTOR, depending on how you pronounce it. Pretty fun set. I think this to me is one of my... I think when it comes to collecting, this might be one of the most valuable sets, other than maybe Masters of the Forest. There's just some really great stuff in here. So let's get right into it. So first things first, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi Padawan. I think this is a pretty good sculpt, honestly. I've always thought they captured the look of him in Episode 1 pretty dang well. I quite like it a lot. Solid detail, nice dynamic pose. I think it's a good A tier one for sure. Jawani, I'll put her in B tier. Yeah, I think it's fine. Full disclosure, I haven't played the KOTOR games too much. They're great, and I'm pretty familiar with some of the characters and so forth throughout them, but I'll put her... It's not my favorite pose, so she might wind up towards bottom of B tier, and it's just an alright. It's just kind of like a lightsaber up for a slash, but I don't think it's bad or anything, so maybe B tier for here. The next one is Mandalore the Ultimate. Mandalore the Ultimate, I think, is pretty dang great. I might even put it in S tier. I just think... I'll do S tier. I think Mandalore the Ultimate looks fantastic. I think Mandalore the Ultimate looks cooler than Mandalore the Indomitable, in my opinion, and that's a pretty good looking one as well, so... fantastic, just detail and paint job all around. Looks great, so I'm a big fan of this one. Mandalorian Captain, let's see here, maybe low. I think this one looks pretty good. I might do high B tier, maybe an A tier, we'll see. Pretty good overall, solid looking Mandalorian. I like kind of like the almost like yellowish greenish armor, looks pretty great. Good detail, especially like around the midsection. Ah, man, maybe I will do low A tier. We'll see. I might do low A tier for now. Mandalorian Marauder. Unfortunately for me, this isn't my favorite. I've just never been a fan of the way these guys look. They do get flat pretty easily, which is disappointment. But they do have the Crusader look to them. So, but either way, it's just these ones have never been my favorite personally. So I'll put them down in C tier. Not bad, just not my favorite. Next we get the Quartermaster. I think this is a solid B tier for me at least. I think it looks pretty solid overall. Kind of a change of pace for what some of the Mandalorians typically look like. But I'll go with B for this one. Next, get some kind of back-to-back ones. We get the Scout. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to remember these ones super well. Pretty sure this is the Scout and this is the Trooper, I think, or Commando. Oof, I'm in big trouble now. Gonna have to help me out. Oh no. Let's see here. This one, I've always thought these guys looked a little bit cooler than these. Or do I? They're really similar looking. Just one has like a blaster rifle, the other one's got two pistols or so. I think they both look pretty nice. I'm gonna say high B tier and see where we go from there. They look good. The armor looks really good. I do like their poses and kind of what they're doing. They look pretty nice, so I'll do that for now. All right, T3. Let's see. What do I think about this droid? Oh boy. Looks really good to the game. Pretty dang accurate, that's for sure. I think it looks really good, honestly. Because the droid has pretty... T3 has pretty kind of skinny limbs and so forth. Just kind of a lot going on. I think for a droid, it looks pretty sweet. I'm a big fan of this sculpt, honestly, the more I think about it. Let's see, Kreia. I think Kreia's got to be one of the top sculpts. Is it an S tier sculpt, though? She just looks great. She looks like she does, you would see in the game. Awesome lightsaber, really dynamic pose that kind of keeps going around. Man, that might even be an S tier sculpt. Maybe just A. I'll do A for now. Looks really good. Maybe I'll bump it up. Zane Carrick, it's fine. It's kind of looking down at the ground. Decent detail. Honestly, not my favorite. I might put it like low B tier. I don't think it's too bad. So I think it's a fine sculpt. Next we have, after this is man. I'm really spacing it today on the names. Chirac, there we go. It's an okay looking creature. For me, it's nothing that gets me too excited. If these types of creature minis and sculpts are your favorite, this is right for you. But I don't really care for it too much. Massive, pretty good detail on this little bugger. I don't know how I feel about it otherwise. I think it's just fine B tier sculpt. They're cool. These guys look pretty awesome. I'm gonna put these guys up in A tier. They look pretty cool. They definitely look like the power. They kind of definitely represent what they can do in the game for sure with how terrorizing they look, and I think these guys look pretty sweet. So there's a reason they're hard to get, other than how strong they are, but they look great as well. Lots of fun. I'll definitely put that up in A tier. The T1 loader droid. Let's see. This guy is pretty good looking. I think it's a solid B tier though. I'll put it right there in the middle. For droid standards, I think these things look awesome. Really cool design there. Pretty decent sized as well. Just interesting looking limbs and articulation. Cool looking droid. I like it. B tier. Next here we got. This is where things get complicated. This is the Sith Guard, and this is the Captain. There we go. Okay, so Sith Captain, it's kind of meh in my opinion. I like the way the Sith Troopers look, but for me, the Sith Captain isn't the coolest looking of the Sith Troopers. I'll still put it in B tier because I really dig that armor. I think they do a good job capturing it here. The nice thing about these Sith Trooper looks is that they're more silver, whereas the ones in the earlier ones are more kind of a gray. I'm not sure if, I'm really not sure which one. I think these ones are more accurate. They should be more silver, but probably in Champions of the Force they were just limited at that time. So definitely will do. I do think these look good. I just wish I had a more cool pose. That's all. Not bad, but I'll just put it down there. Boma is a cool looking creature. I'll just put him down low B tier. Looks cool. Looks great. Like huge. I'm not very familiar with this in the Star Wars universe, honestly, but they look good. Not super interesting looking, but I'll definitely kind of put it down there. I think Massive's detail looks pretty sweet, so I'll put him up higher. And then Jawani needs to go down to the bottom of B tier. Next is General Antilles. I am actually not a fan of this person's. I'm not a fan of his sculpt personally. It's okay. It's just for some reason the pose to me is just kind of seems a little bit unnatural for some reason. I don't know, and it doesn't really remind me of Wedge too much. Then again, it's hard to kind of get that look, I suppose. I'm so used to Wedge just wearing, the Red Squadron outfit. It's just kind of like, when he looks different, it's hard to get around it. But either way, I'm still not a big fan of this particular mini and the way he looks. But it's not bad. It's not like bad, but it's just not my favorite. Zalbar looks pretty solid, all right. You got the knife, got the crossbow. Again, I think this is, for me, a B tier as well. Looks pretty good, though. For a Wookiee, I don't think they got this Wookiee as well as they've gotten past Wookiees, but still solid, for sure. I'll put Zalbar just kind of in the middle of B tier for now. Tusken Raider, this is a good-looking Tusken Raider. I like with one arm instead of two up. It's a decent, again, it's not as crazy. I don't love it as much as maybe some of the other Tusken. I think the Tusken Raider Sniper, I believe, was pretty decent. I'm not a big fan of Tusken Raiders, but I think this one was done pretty well, so I'll put him down in B tier, low B tier. Darth Vader, Scourge of the Jedi. What do I think about this one? Not my favorite Darth Vader look. What do I think about this one? I think the hard time thing I have about this one is the detail's fine and all, but it just almost feels like he's almost tipping over sideways or maybe getting blown over sideways. I think I get what they're going for look-wise. Pose-wise, it doesn't necessarily do it for me for Darth Vader, but it's not too bad either. There's other Darth Vaders that I like much more, but this one is solid. That's not my favorite looking one, but I'll put it in the middle. ASN Assassin Droid. I mean, I don't really say. It just kind of looks like it does in the movie. It's okay. It's fine. It looks good, I guess. So I'll just put top of C tier. It's just nothing too interesting. Death Star Protocol Droid. I'll put this one in B tier. I really like the look of these things is so wacky. So it's like a C-3PO Protocol Droid with bug eyes. Basically, it's crazy, and I think they do capture the look of it pretty nicely, honestly, in this game. It's a very simple design, of course, but I think they look cool. I definitely think they look cool, and they look good in the game too. So I'll put them kind of higher B tier. I've always liked the look of these guys for some reason, and they're done well. So a Han Solo Smuggler is all right. I think the pose is pretty decent, but for some reason, to me, the detail doesn't seem as great on this one. Maybe compared to other ones, I don't know. Maybe I'm just losing it. I'll put it in low B tier. Or maybe mid to low B tier. Man, there's aspects of this that I do really like a lot. It's a good pose. It's generally a good look, but for some reason I'm just not crazy about the paint job, and maybe it's just this particular mini. So I'll bump them up I'll put them right there. All right, Luke Skywalker Jedi. This is literally just Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. pretty much done again, tweaked a little bit. It's a fine look. I don't remember where I put Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. I think it's just a B tier. It's kind of a retread, and I don't even know if this one's detailed as well as the other one was, honestly. They're very similar, but again, I'll put it near Vader. It's fine, but not my favorite. Actually, Zane's better than both of these guys. Yeah. It's fine. I'll put it down near Solo. Maybe I should... I don't want to be C tier, because I think it is an interesting looking pose, but, like, it's also just kind of weird. I don't know. I might just put this in C tier. I'm just not a big fan of this Luke. It's just not working for me the more I sit with it. Let's see, a Chani Handmaiden. I really like the look of these characters. I think, you know, their cloak, I guess you could say, that they're wearing looks good. The dual pistols overall. They have a gun extended, but it's not like one of those awkward, completely straight arms. It's close though. I think I'll put it at top of B tier actually. Definitely a solid looking mini overall. I think it looks good. Let's see, Jariel maybe is an S tier. I always thought Jariel looks fantastic. I think pretty good detail overall for what she looks like. Definitely, I think the pose is pretty good. Looks like she's kind of running up for some sort of melee attack. Definitely S tier in my opinion. The Geoharden Assassin, I always thought they kind of looked cool. They kind of remind me of maybe like one of the X-Men sort of, and how they look. Not A tier though. I think these are still a B tier in how they look to me. The detail's fine. I'll put it right there. Somewhere around mid B tier looks okay. I think they look decent, but I think they could be better. I don't know. Man, some of the time, for some reason, some of these characters aren't popping off. Like, I really like the minis in the game, but these aren't just, they're not looking all that great to me. Okay, let's put Panenka in A tier. I think Panenka looks pretty great, honestly. A good looking pose, really nice detail, looks very, very good. Much better, I think. I think Panenka turned out better than Typho. And Typho's a mini that I've never been a big fan of when it comes to the Naboo security people. And so I think they did a great job with Panenka, so I'll put him in A tier. Let's see, Princess Leia, I think Senator, I believe, looks pretty good. Pretty basic, though, and vanilla. I think, actually, the Princess Leia from Rebel Storm, which is kind of the same thing as this in terms of what they're going for look-wise, that one looks better than this one. This one's not bad, but it's just kind of mid, in my opinion, as a mini. Maybe even, like, below Jory, yeah. Jolie Bindo, not a very interesting or dynamic pose, but I do think they got the detail done really well on this particular mini. I might even put it low A tier. I definitely really enjoy. Of course, a more dynamic pose would be good, and that's what I usually look at and go for, but I for some reason, I just think Jolie Bindo turned out pretty good in this particular set. Zerga Scientist, that's C tier. I'm not really a big fan of how these turned out. They're just kind of bland, just kind of purple, standing straight up. It's fine. Whatever. Let's see here. Next is the Elite Wookiee Warrior. These guys look pretty awesome. I think that I'm going to put them up in A tier for one. The thing I really enjoy about them is they get the Wookiee look good, the texture's good. I really like the pose. It looks like that guy's bringing his weapon around to just kind of maul somebody with, which is kind of how it plays in the game. These guys look fantastic to me. They're fun to collect, they're fun to play with, they look great, and I'm a fan. Captain Tarpals, let's see, Captain Tarpals here. What do we think about Captain Tarpals? I think looks pretty solid overall for a Gungan. Maybe one of my Gungans I like a decent amount. Sometimes I get Captain Tarpals mixed up with the Artillerist, just because of the weapon they're holding and kind of the way they're holding it. To me, sometimes it looks similar, but Tarpals has more pink skin tone. I think Tarpals looks pretty solid overall. Maybe I'll put still B tier, but somewhere around there. Okay, a mid B tier. After this, we have Visismar, basically just the Sentinel reprint. It's okay. Visismar's fine. Maybe more of like a low B tier to me. I think right there sounds good. Okay. Next is Sith Marauder. These guys look pretty nice. To me, they kind of look like you get like a fencing outfit and make it gray and black, add a little bit of a cape to it. That's what they look like to me. Almost look like medieval knights in some ways, sort of. At least the helmet looks pretty nice. Definitely a fan of how these guys look. Look pretty great, and very nice looking minis too, even though the color scheme is just kind of grays and blacks. Next is Master Lucian Dre. Pretty good looking mini. I'm going to put Master Lucian Dre up in A tier. Probably pretty high in A tier, actually. Yeah, pretty high in A tier, just because I think they do a really good job with the detail here. Like, you know, the gold, the white cloak, the different layers of the clothing. Definitely a really solid looking mini overall. Let's see, next, let's do the Sith Guard. I'll put it nearby the Sith guy. Actually, I think the Sith Captain looks a little bit better. I might even bump him up just a teeny bit. Nah, I like the Guard a little bit less. Yeah, not a big fan of the Guard. It's okay. Still, I like that Sith Trooper look to it, but the pose isn't really working for me. The gun's too close to the chest. So there we go. Let's see, Heavy Sith Assault Droid. The Heavy Sith Assault Droid, what do I think about this thing? I think it's just a solid looking B tier vehicle. It's okay, you know, it's not, it looks kind of cool, but I kind of don't know how to judge it all the way, so I'll just kind of put it down low B tier. Next one we have here is going to be Karth. What do I think? Not my favorite looking pose. So the thing with Karth you have going on here is just kind of almost like a little subtle squat with two fully extended arms with the guns. Kind of a natural sort of, or kind of a corny pose. Not really working for me. Sorry, Karth. You're not my favorite sculpt here. Just actually not even close. Maybe even D tier. I've never been a fan of this mini, this particular pose, unfortunately. So, is it D tier? We'll see. I'll shake it up and do D tier. Not my thing. Juggernaut War Droid. I love the way these things look. I'll do low A tier, not to be too crazy, but I've always thought the Juggernaut War Droid looked pretty dang cool for a War Droid, and I've always been a little bit nostalgic for them. Next we have the Sith Assassin. I believe this is the regular Sith Assassin, not the Elite version. They look okay. They just kind of remind me of... in some ways they kind of remind me of the... What are they? They're some of the villains in Avatar Legend of Korra, where they have like those electric hands and they wear like the goggles and stuff. They're like in the first season. Don't know if any of my viewers, any of you guys have ever even seen that show, but kind of their look reminds me of that a little bit. Not my favorite. I'll do kind of mid-C tier. It's not the worst thing, but not a big fan. All right, Mira. Let's see. What is Mira land? Pretty good looking mini, like painted pretty well overall. Maybe detail could be a little bit finer, but definitely solid. I think they captured the mini or the character pretty well here. I'll probably do maybe, I don't know if about A tier is right for it, but I'll probably do high B tier, maybe to A tier. We'll see. I'll do bottom of B tier for now. I might shake it up later. Next, I think this one's Atton Rand. I always mix Karth and Atton Rand together. I mix them up for some reason. I just know they're the two kind of like mass shooters in Old Republic who both kind of suck. I'm going to put... I think I like Karth less. Atton Rand is pretty down there. I don't know what it is. I just do not like the look of either of these guys. They just don't work for me. But I'll put Karth in D tier. Not just the mini. It doesn't work. I don't like the look of the mini. It kind of looks silly. Yeah, down there is fine. Bowder, kind of a fine low B tier. Solid looking mini though. Kind of a fun looking Zabrak. They do an okay job at capturing it. I do like the prosthetic arm. That's pretty cool. So put it down there. Next we have the let's see here, the Sith. Already said Guard. I just noticed the Sith Opportunist guy. Oh my gosh, I need to remember what was the name of this guy. Man, you can tell I'm getting I need to learn all my minis better. Gee whiz. Gosh, I always just think of these guys as the Sith Opportunist dudes. They are my favorite looking Sith, though, in this set. Overall, I think they look pretty cool. So I'll put them a little bit higher, but not too high. Let's see. There we go. That looks good. Let's see. What's next? We got the Artillerist. Gungan Artillerist. Looks fine. They do actually a good job at kind of capturing that look. So I'll put it kind of a low B tier, but I'll just, I don't know. To me, not like an A tier. Maybe for you it's an A tier, but not for me. Soldier for the Wookiee Soldier. I don't like it as much as the Elite Wookiee Warrior. Actually, this is the Wookiee Soldier. This is just the Wookiee Warrior. No, it's not. This is the Wookiee Soldier. Is it? Are there two soldiers? No, Wookiee Trooper. Thank you. This is the Wookiee Trooper. They have Warrior and Elite Warrior. They couldn't use Warrior again because that was, a couple sets ago for the Rebels. I think it looks okay. I might just do like high C tier. It's not my favorite. Well, let's go low B tier. It's a decent looking Wookiee. Kind of fun to have a spear in the back. Not my favorite looking thing though of all time, but it's okay. Next we have the Jawa. I think this one's the Jawa Scout, I believe. I think so. I just know there's so many Jawas that are similar. I think I'll put this one kind of low B tier. Next is the Gungan Soldier. Let's see, where does this one go? I think this one looks a little bit better than the Artillerist, personally. I'm going to put it up just a little bit. I just kind of like the dynamic pose, just about to throw. It's just about to, yeah, just about to basically throw its, grenade, Gungan grenade, boomer. I don't remember what they're called, but pretty solid look. So let's kind of do mid B tier, maybe higher B tier. Pretty solid. Darth Sion. I think Darth Sion looks pretty cool. I'm gonna go up in A tier. I'm a fan of the way Darth Sion looks overall. Just how do I think? I do capture the detail really nicely of what he looks like. Part of me wants to say S tier. I just don't know. Is that really an S tier looking mini? Maybe. The detail looks really good. I might just do bottom of S tier. I think they just captured the way Darth Sion looks really well. They do a good job with the detail to kind of have him that, like, I don't know, Lord of Pain look on him. Basically, looks. I'll do below S tier for this one. It's hard for me to keep him out with just the way they made him look. He could look. I don't know. I'm trying to think what can make him look better, but I'll do S tier. Let's see. Let's do the. Alright, this is going in D tier. I'm not really a fan of the look of the Old Republic soldiers anyway, so the Old Republic captain can go down here. Not particularly fond of it. Doesn't look that cool to me at all. I'm just going to do like all the way at the bottom. Let's see, next is the Old Republic guard. I'll just kind of throw them down there too. Not working for me. I'll put them both down there. They're not working. Let's see, let's do, next is Squint. Squint is pretty solid, honestly. A good dynamic pose, a solid detail. I think this might be another A tier character. Looks pretty good. I'm a fan of the way Squint does. I don't know in particular order, but I'll just kind of throw Squint up there somewhere. Darth Malak. This might be a hot take. I don't know. Part of me, I'm trying to think if I like the other Darth Malak look more or if I like this one more. That's kind of tough. They both look good. This Darth Malak definitely looks more like he's, kind of running into a duel, running into the fight. Whereas the other one I don't think was looking like that. It's definitely solid. I don't know if it's my favorite looking Darth Malak. It looks pretty good though. Is the face right? Man, I'm gonna go take a look at the other Darth Malak and see. Let's see here, the other Darth Malak. I mean, the thing about this Darth Malak that's kind of strange is his eyes are kind of wacky, but it's small. It's hard to do. I know that's older, so maybe the detail's less good or not quite as good as it could be. But for some reason, there's something about the old Darth Malak mini that I just kind of like more. It's almost like more of like a imposing presence as opposed to this one. I think it's still A tier, so I'll stick it down in A tier. But I don't know. I haven't owned this mini long enough to make a good judgment. Maybe Palpatine looks fine. Just kind of looks like what you'd expect Palpatine to look like. It's decent detail. It's fine. B tier. Nothing that really excites me too much. Jar Jar. I actually think Jar Jar looks pretty awesome. I think they capture the clumsy with the knees inward. The clumsy look of Jar Jar Binks. I'm gonna put Jar Jar pretty high. I think Jar Jar was captured really well for Star Wars minis as well as you could. So I'll put it up there. Next is the Elite Sith Trooper. I'm gonna put these guys way up in A tier. I don't know what it is. I think these guys to me look so freaking cool. I don't know if I can say S tier, but like the kind of like that bronze colored armor is just, oh man. I love the Sith Trooper look. I love the color. I love it. It's a pretty simple pose, but it's just, these things are so cool. A huge fan of the way these guys look, at least for me. Mission Vow, pretty decent looking. Definitely looks pretty good to how it looks in the game. Very skinny mini, can kind of get bent over pretty easily. Is this an A tier one? I don't think so. The detail is pretty good though for capturing Mission Vow. I'll probably put kind of mid B tier. I think that's fine for Mission Vow. And then the Gungan Shield Bearer. Pretty similar to the other Gungan, which I put down here. I think the shield bird just looks a little cooler when it's carrying the whole energy shield, so I'll put up just a little bit higher. So, okay, that's kind of a quick run through. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this is probably a decent list here. Shoot. I didn't have as many S tiers as I thought I would. These ones are all really good looking, but I just didn't feel like I could put them in S tier. Cyan, Jariel, and Mandalore the Ultimate. I think those are the S tier sculpts in this one. I'm a big fan of the way they look. Definitely a big fan of the Elite Sith Trooper. Geez, I want to put it in S tier, but I'll just do an A tier here. And then some of these Old Republic guys just are not doing it for me. I'm just not a big fan of the Old Republic Trooper Guard look. And then not a big fan of, Atton Rand or Cartho Nassi. I just don't like the way they look in this game for some reason. But if they're your cup of tea, that's great. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please please subscribe if you haven't yet. I got plenty of other videos to check out. Definitely take a look at them as well. And yeah, till next time, have a good one.